Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I figured we'd sit down and do a budget together because it's at the end of the month and this is normally when you're getting your numbers together and preparing for next month's budget. So I figured we'd go ahead and do a sample budget just out on my desktop. I just use a free online budgeting tool and then it's also connected to an app on my phone. So then if you have like a transaction that happens when you're out and about, or you get groceries or gasoline or something, you can just punch in that amount and it automatically deducts it from your budget and it tracks everything and it's super organized. It really helps to keep you on track and organized. So I'm gonna go ahead and take you out to my desk right now and we'll get started. Alright guys, so I use the EveryDollar budgeting tool and it's just everydollar.com is the website. And so we're gonna do a sample budget for July. At the very top, you enter your monthly income and you can click on the name of it to change the name of your paycheck or your income. You can add additional incomes. And I'm going to go off, since this is just a sample budget, I'll just go off kind of the national household income average, which is around $50,000 a year. So let's say you make $4,000 a month. And then next I move on to savings or your emergency fund. And so I usually save 15% of whatever we make. And so that would be $600 out of the $4,000. And as you're entering your expenses, you can see how much you have left to budget because it keeps track for you at the very top. So moving on to the housing category, mortgage or rent, I'll just punch in my actual bills here. So we pay $1,100 in rent every month. Water is right around $80 because it's water and sewage combined out here. And then electricity is usually right around $150. We usually don't go over that. And then mobile phones, our cell phone plan is $150 for the two of us. And then internet is about $70. And then for like gasoline, we usually spend about $200 a month in gasoline, which works out to about $50 a week. And then for groceries, we spend $600 a month or $150 a week. There's also a lifestyle section, and so usually I will add some money into my miscellaneous category just for any little odds and ends that come up between Michael and I. So we usually will split like $100 just for those miscellaneous purchases throughout the month. And then for auto insurance, our auto insurance is $25 a month. And then down here at the very bottom is the debt category. And so I just entered any debts that people might have. So like an auto loan, we don't actually have an auto loan, but we're just doing a sample budget here for an example. So I just punched in $350 is your monthly payment for an auto loan. And then say you have a credit card that you're working on paying off. So we'll just say $400 is going to be this month's payment. And then maybe you have some other sort of debt. So we'll say, how much do we have left? $175 to the budget. So we'll just put in $175. And that's going to be your zero-based budget. So it's your income minus your expenses and savings should equal zero at the very end of it. And then over here you have your kind of pie graph. And so it's all color coded. You can see like the percentages of what you're paying. It has the list of all your categories. It shows the exact amounts you're going to be paying this month. And it has it all by percentage. So you see how much of a percentage of your income is going to where. And if you click on spent, it'll show you how much you've spent during that month so far. If you click on remaining, it'll show you how much you still owe during that month. So you've got your budget all planned out for the month, and then when you get your paycheck, you can add that as a transaction. So when you add a transaction, it's either going to be an expense or it's going to be an income. So when you get paid, it's going to be an income, and so you just type in the amount that you got paid. So we're just typing in our $4,000 income here, and we'll just add income, and then it changes to received. So it shows that you actually received that paycheck. And when you first start using EveryDollar, it actually has several other sections in here. I just customized it because I deleted, some sections that just didn't apply to us. But you can totally customize this to fit your life and lifestyle. You can add new budget groups and just make it completely custom to you. And whenever you need to add a transaction, you just go up there, click on the little plus sign, and you can add either an expense or an income anytime throughout the month. I also have the EveryDollar app on my phone, and so that way I can track, when I'm out and about and on the go, and as soon as a transaction happens, I can add it in there right away. And so that way it's super easy to keep track when you're out and, running around. So if you just swipe to spent, it'll show you how much you've spent that month. If you swipe to remaining, it shows you how much you still have remaining in your budget for that month. And then say you're out and about and you got to go get gasoline or something. So just go down there, click on gasoline, click on the plus sign to add a transaction, and say we spent $50 on gasoline. So I just add in $50, hit save, and so it shows you your transaction that just happened. And then if you swipe to spent, it'll show that you just spent $50 in the gasoline section. And then if you swipe to remaining, and then we go down, we can see how much we still have left available in our budget for that month. So it's super easy to stay on track with your budget and know where every dollar that you're making is going. Alright guys, so that's how I do my monthly budget, and it just makes it so easy to keep track of every dollar. You know, every dollar that comes in, it has a place that it's going to be going to, whether it's your savings or an expense or you're paying off debt or something. It just makes it super easy to keep track of everything and really, you know, pound out any debt that you have going on, really knock that out. And I love Dave Ramsey and his daughter Rachel Cruz. I think they're just awesome, and that's where I found them. You know, I found them on YouTube. That's how I found Every Dollar, and that's how I started using their budget system, and it just makes it so easy. And also, I don't have to like spend time like writing it down on paper or trying to do math or figuring out percentages. It does everything for you, which is amazing, and it's a time saver. So it really helps keep you organized and on track. Alright guys, so I'm gonna let you go. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys!